Hello, I'm Chloe Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and this is the energy update for all signs for Thursday, the 25th of August, 2022. I hope you're doing well. I have a live show 3 times a week here on YouTube. Sometimes it's a live channeling for twin flames of the divine masculine, divine feminine energies that are going on at the moment. Sometimes I give messages for Aries through Pisces as well. But I always give mini reads in there for donations. So come along sometime. You can find them. The next show's laying in wait on my YouTube channel. And if you're interested in a private reading with me, they're available from my website, behealing.com. You can find a link for that in the description box below, and also one up there too. So let's see what's in the energies for everybody today. Get those private readings out within 48 hours if you're ordering them. So if it says it's all sold out, just check back a day or so later. You should be able to get some availability coming up. I tend to make some available each day. Okay. Rambling while the cards has been slow to come out. Could be a slow kind of a day today. We've got the creation of light, things getting easier, foxfire and more passionate as well. Easy and more passionate. Easier and more passionate. Sounds like a good combination to me. How about you? What else? What else in the energies today? Wild. Well, there's that passion. There's an element of today being wild in a good way. Tell us more. Oh, it fell on the floor. Voyage. Oh, you're going somewhere. Set a new course. You might be going somewhere or just starting off on a new thing. Could be learning something. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. There's an element of newness, though. New adventure kind of thing in your life. Tell us more, Tarot. What's going on today? What's going on today? 5 of Cups. Could be a focus on what's lacking, on what's lost, that kind of thing. I just want to have a look at what was yesterday's, because I've not recorded. I had a lot of dental work done. I took a week off. So it's been a long time since I recorded these. You knew it was coming. So we had a lot of divine masculine, divine feminine stuff in the lead up to this. But yeah, 5 of Cups is about, it's a little bit focused on the lack there. It might be focused on the lack of something. Or you have been focused on the lack of something, and that's what's getting easier today. What else? 4 of Wands. Woo! Celebration, party. Could be something about marriage. There's chicken cat at the door. I'm going to let her in. Excuse me a moment. Hi. Okay. 4 of Wands. Yeah, it can be solid starts in something. Solid foundations for whatever it is you're starting today. Some kind of a new adventure, perhaps relationship. What else in the energies today? What else do we need to know about in the energies today? And the dental work still isn't finished. It's going to be finished on the 30th. Yay. At last. 3.5 months of a lot of dental work to get all of this done. 8 of Cups, some kind of a walking away energy. And it's walking away from emotional attachments more than anything else. Or walking away from perhaps neediness that you've been in your life. And Ace of Swords. You got a bright idea for something new. It could be like, I want to learn a new language. I want to learn how to play the guitar. That's that voyage thing. It's something new in your life. I feel like that's connected to it. So the 5 of Cups, a focus on lack. And this could be past energy. Yeah, awakening. So it is. It's like you're waking up to it that, I was just focused on lack before. You know, this could be about money. It could be like, I was just in a poverty state of mind, just like keeping myself there, always getting by, instead of breaking free of that and focusing on something much bigger for myself. Because if it is the case for you, when you're stuck in that poverty and that poverty mindset, you might think, but I have to focus on the next bill. I have to focus on just getting by because that's where I'm at right now. And it's like, yeah, but if you just took like a couple of weeks, if you gave that up for just a couple of weeks and got focused on longer term stuff, doing something much bigger for yourself to create real abundance instead of just getting by, then you could get yourself out of that rut, you know? It's like bailing the water out of a boat that's sinking. Instead of plugging the hole in the boat, you just keep on bailing the water out. And it's like when someone tells you, just stop for a while and think about the longer term stuff. You're like, I can't because I need to get this water out. And you're bailing the water out and you're bailing the water out. And if you just stopped and paused for even a minute and calmed down, you'd be like, oh, I can put this bung in the hole. And then the bailing the water out that I'm doing is actually going to, you know, reduce the amount of water that's in the boat. It's something like that. So there's a realization today that you've been focused on lack, and you can actually awaken to that, realize what you're doing to yourself, and get focused on something much bigger, a longer term thing that's actually going to get you out of that. So sometimes, if it is about money, and that is one of the hardest things to get yourself out of as well, because it feels like life or death to us, that. And so to really calm yourself down and shift your focus away from that is difficult to do, but it's not impossible. You can do it, because there's always a way to get yourself out of it for good, kind of thing, to break out of that poverty trap is what they call it. And it's a poverty trap. It's your mind. I'm not saying that it's all in your mind, but I'm saying that's where it originates, you know? If you keep yourself in that kind of a cycle, bailing that water out, you're going to be doing that forever. And you don't want to be doing that forever because it's exhausting and it's stressful. So it's changing your perception first. It originates in the mind. Now, this doesn't have to be about money, although I think probably everyone that's watching this channel has had that experience at some point where you've been worried about money and you get yourself into that lack mindset, and it's just a downward spiral when you do that. But it could be about the lack of people today, you know. It could be a lack of all kinds of things, lack of love, lack of receiving, whatever it is. You need to snap out of that and awaken to changing your perception about it, having a more of a long-term, well, how can I make this happen? What it, you know, is that I do want. Four of Wands. Tell us why the Four of Wands is here. Page of Materials. This could be an idea of some stability that you want, some firm foundations that you want to put in place to build something. It could be about a relationship. You're wanting to build a relationship, and you're thinking on what needs to be put in place to build really firm foundations in that. This could be like, well, I want to be a doctor, so, you know, or I want to learn something. What needs to be in place so that I can do that? Now you might think, oh, well, I'll need to go to school, but there's something ahead of that, right? The finances perhaps to be in place before I can go to school for that. It's something like that. It's thinking about the firm foundations, what needs to be in place to make you feel really secure, so that this thing that you want is going to be really solid. Now, relationships, it could be about a marriage. So you might be thinking on, well, what conversations do I need to have with my person? What do I need to find out about them first to have firm foundations so that I'm really secure in this and feel really secure in moving forward? You know, things like, what do you want in 10, 20, 50 years time, kind of thing. Yeah, there's a lot to think about. I think these energies are like, okay, you've got something starting now, which is like really long-term thing. So you need to have some kind of foresight of what needs to be in place for you to feel really secure in it. It's really secure that you're making the right decisions, or having things in place so that you're in a stable position so it can be good. Yeah, because you don't want, say, if you want to be a doctor, you don't want to like have no finances behind you, enroll yourself into uni to do it, and then be struggling from there. That's not the ideal situation for it to be really solid and unstressful for you, right? It's something like that. Unlimited possibilities. So there's so much can come from this, but there's this definite need to think about the solid foundations. Ace of Cups. This was walking away from neediness, walking away from an emotional attachment, which is neediness. So whenever we want something or someone to fill a hole within us, we're going wrong there. Like, because we don't need. We want people, we want things in our lives, but we don't need them, right? As soon as there's a need there, there's going to be an emotional attachment to it, and so we're going to cling to that person or that thing. And it's still not going to satisfy us because nothing outside of us can. What have we got out with that? Happiness, ultimate happiness, the inner child being happy. There's a need today to make yourself happy and make your inner child happy by, it could be stopping, it could be walking away from trying to manifest something instantly or get an instant win. There's a definite energy today about really thinking long term with things, and maybe forgoing the instant happiness of just buying that thing or just jumping straight into it without the foresight of what really needs to be in place for you to feel secure about it first, so it can be really good. What's behind this? Struggle and ascension. Yeah, there's definitely an energy today that you've been in struggle and you don't want that to, you want to ascend out of that, right? You don't want this to be more of the struggle. So whatever you're headed toward, don't do it in the same way that you've done other things before, because there is this struggle, right? There's this creation of light. There's a passion there, a fire to move forward, which could accompany with it some impulsiveness. But this is saying just be careful of that. Go for long term, temper yourself kind of thing. You've had a bright idea anyway. This is really good, the Ace of Swords. But there is Hanged Muse. There's a different way of looking at it. There's a different way of looking at it required, says the Hanged Muse, before you make a decision on what action to take, says the Two of Wands. So slow yourself down and go, okay, yes, this is very exciting, but how about I think more about the long term? What would make me feel really secure? Perhaps a little bit boring, but yeah, good for you in the long term. And it could just be about that lifting yourself out of a poverty kind of a mindset. You've had omens about this as well, apparently. You're getting other signs. It's not just me that's saying this. You've been getting signs about this. So there you go. Tiki. She wants to go out. I call her Chicken or Tiki because I called her Chicken. She was a kitten when she adopted me. She showed up on my doorstep. But little did I know her original owner, who used to live here, called her Tiki. Very similar. So I'm going to let the chicken cat out. So no wonder she responded to me calling her Chicken. She knew that her name was Tiki. Okay. What's going on in our love lives? Time. You're trying too hard, give it time. So don't be pushing your love life forward. Don't be trying to make things happen really fast today. Slow things down. Go for solid foundations. Go for the long-term stuff. Might be getting a little bit frustrated, impatient with your person, but just think of long-term stuff. What else? Leave the past behind. So if your person's triggering you about past situations when things didn't happen, perhaps when someone was being resistant to things, not necessarily true that that's what's going on now. yeah, we need to take ownership of our triggers, really, and not put it on other people. If someone's triggering you, notice what it's triggering from the past rather than thinking that it's a rerun of that stuff. Because the last thing we want to do is treat our current partners or our prospective partners like they're our exes, because we don't want to be in Groundhog Day here, right? So let's not be treating people like it is Groundhog Day. Hopefully you're making different decisions and you're being more discerning than you ever were. So why would it be Groundhog Day? So we need to take responsibility of our triggers. There's a lot of passion going on today in relationships. Ooh. And healing too, especially around family stuff. Yeah. Now, for some of you that are healing around family stuff, it could have something to do with impatience or a pushy parent kind of thing. You might have, not that there's a parent still around for some of you, but you might have their voice inside of your head always, you're never good enough kind of thing. But that might be pushing you to try and do things faster in relationships. Or it could be family stuff of, family asking you're not in a relationship yet or things like that. There seems to be a bit of an element today of pushiness kind of thing going on that we need to resist. What else in our love lives? What else in our love lives today? A fear of commitment, fear of getting locked down, tied down to something perhaps you're not completely sure of yet. There's jealousy as well coming up today. Could be jealousy coming up in other people about you or in you as well. That could be one of the triggers that comes up that you need to take ownership for. And come hither. So somebody is beckoning you forward today. Or you are with them, like, come on, let's do this already, kind of an energy. What else? What else is in the energies today? I'm slow reading today. Usually done by now. Wind chimes, peace and harmony. That's nice. And then we've got this one, which is involvement with the law. You might have contracts to sign and that kind of thing. You might have something to get out of today as well. Or watch out with speeding and stuff like that. Watch where you park. Could be stuff like that. You've also got a knot here, unsuccessful plans, and a mountain, major challenge to overcome before something. Yeah, and that could be what it is here, is that a major challenge to overcome. It's not actually stopping you from moving forward, but it should be. If you only want to move forward once you have those solid foundations in yourself, so that you've got everything that you need to feel really secure before you start something, is what it feels like. Well, think of a yes or no answer question, because I've got a red and a green crystal in this bag. I'm going to pull one of them out very shortly for your answer. It's just a bit of fun because this is a general reading. If you want me to pull one of those crystals out for a question that you've got, come along to a Psychic Cafe show sometime. It's for donations. In that show, I will be also picking out cards as well to give you clarity on why it's a yes and why it's a no. And it doesn't even need to be a yes or no answer question either. It could be any kind of question. I can use them in private readings as well. Book yourself in. There's a link in the description box below, and also one up there too. After you're booked in, click on the Contact Us page if you want to put specific questions in for your reading. Otherwise, I'll just channel it as I usually would. So how best to deal with these energies today? We've got the Three of Pentacles, planning. It's about planning. It's a day of planning today. It's a day of holding yourself back from jumping into something. As passionate as you are for it, have the ideas there and then go, okay, now how can I set the stage here and set the foundation so that I feel really secure and really good about this, so it's going to be really good in the long term. little bit of a boring energy, but it feels like what you've got coming up here is something very important that's going to be there for the long term. Could be very productive. It could be a very long lasting relationship there. So it's got the potential to be that if you take your time over it, or something that's going to make you a lot of money, a lot of success, or put you out there, you and your work in a big way, that kind of thing. And so definitely plan. So think of a yes or no answer question. Now pause the video if you're not ready for your answer. Your answer is no. It's a Ruby. Computer says no. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well. Click on the subscribe button along with that notification bell down there as well to hear more from me. I do one of these every single day of the year. I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show, and I do 3 Love Pick a Card reads a week as well. You can find one of those right there, right now, which you can watch next if you so wish. Have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.